Okay, second graders, we are going to make a beehive today. So when you look at a beehive, they are made out of what is called a honeycomb, and the honeycomb is a hexagon shape. So I'm going to take one of these yellow tangram pieces that's already a hexagon and use it as my tracer. So I can start with my hexagon anywhere on the page. I'm going to hold it nice and still, okay, and I'm going to trace it slowly and carefully all the way around. Okay. For my next one, I'm going to lay it right next to the first one so it lines up flat, and I'm going to trace the 5 sides that don't already have a line. I don't need to trace this side because the line is already there. And then I'm going to keep going across my page until I run out of room. So notice I'm only tracing 5 sides because one of those lines is already there. Now this one is running off the page, so I only have to trace the lines that touch the paper. So I have to move my hand out of the way every once in a while. But also I need to finish this side. So I'm going to bring my tangram back over, line up the flat edge, and finish my hexagon shape. For my next row, I'm going to take my hexagon. I don't want to go point to point, okay? I'm going to put the point in the dip like it's a puzzle piece so that it fits just like the hexagon should look. So I'm going to just trace 4 sides this time because 2 of those sides already have a line on them. Now with the rest of this row, you're actually only going to end up tracing 3 sides, 1, 2, 3, because these 3 sides are blocked off by these already. So I'm going to fit that in, and I'm going to trace around it. I am going to do a time lapse to finish the rest of this so that you don't have to watch me because it's kind of boring. Okay, now that I have all of my hexagons covering my paper, I am going to now take some yellow chalk, because that's what color a honeycomb is, and I'm going to use some liquid starch, which is kind of like laundry detergent, a special kind, but your whole table only needs the tiniest little amount there, and you're going to need a big giant cotton swab. So if you see how big my finger is, that's how big that cotton swab is. It is not for your ears. So I'm going to take my yellow chalk and I'm going to color most of my hexagon in, but not all the way. It is good if you have chalk dust on. Do not blow the chalk dust off your paper. 1, it will get in people's lungs and eyes and it will make them uncomfortable. Okay. 2, it just makes a giant mess. 3, you actually want those chalk dusts for the rest of it. So you're going to fill in each honeycomb, not all the way, leave some white spots around it, but push hard. And once all of your honeycombs are filled in, I'm going to show you what to do. Right now I'm only going to do a few of them just to help speed this along. You're going to take your cotton swab and touch the liquid starch, and then you're going to rub it around on the chalk, and that's going to help, 1, blend the chalk to fill in those extra white spots, and 2, it's going to help keep the chalk from rubbing off on to people's hands or onto other people's artwork. So starch is a 2-fold win. Okay, so every once in a while you're going to feel that your Q-tip is getting a little bit dry, so then you can touch the starch again, and then you go back in and fill in all of the hexagon. I don't want you to do them just as one big giant thing. I do want you to do each hexagon individually to make sure that you get all of those spaces. All of the chalk needs to be touched by the starch. If your table runs out of starch, the only reason that should happen is because maybe I didn't give you quite enough. So then your teacher, either me or your guest teacher, can give you more starch. This is drying out again. Okay, so you don't need very much. And you're just going to fill in all the chalk spots. So not just the border, you're going to go into the middle too. This should be done on every single one of your hexagons on your whole paper. So by the end, your entire paper should be yellow with hexagons on it. By the end of class, you should have a yellow chalk pasteled honeycomb that has been gone over 100% with the starch, the liquid starch. That really is as far as you should get today. If you get farther than that, then you can do drawing stations. I am closing the centers for today. There's no Legos, no dominoes, no zoobs, no stations, because we kind of overdid it last week. So this is as far as you should get today, and if you get done, then you can do drawing centers after your work is all cleaned up.